I'm Shotgun Tom Kelly, president of the Pacific Pioneer Broadcasters, Hollywood Media Professionals, and we've been honoring people in the entertainment world since 1966. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our archives, and we're going to show you some of the people that we've honored from the past. Coming up next, we have a clip from Laugh-In creator George Schlatter and legendary announcer Gary Owens. Sit back, relax. You're really going to enjoy this.
Lily just told me the only way to follow Valanche was to open with, "In conclusion." We're here to honor Lily, but Valanche has been a part of my life for a long time, since the first day we met. Do you remember that? We were doing this benefit, the fundraiser for AIDS, and there were all the Betts friends there and so forth. And Bruce sensed that in this group of people, I was the one that really didn't fit. And so in the middle of the meeting, he stood up. "Bruce, you got to do this." He stood, "Now, I'm in this meeting with Bet and all of Bruce and his friends." And Bruce looks at me. "Tell him what you did." He said,
I said, "George, why do so many gay men do this?" Because they can't do this.
From there on, we became fast friends. And we were doing a show on 75th anniversary of Vegas, and I was there with my daughter. My daughters both feel that I'm a real cube, because I'm out of whatever they're into. And so they're in the floor of the concert hall, and Bruce and I are walking across the floor, and my daughter looks and sees me with Bruce Valanche, and she goes, "Well, all right." Anyway, there's no question about the fact that this young lady who we are honoring here today is one of the nicest, most caring, most loving, most talented performers we have ever had in motion pictures, on stage, or on television. However, she is she is just a little bit crazy. We've had a few legends like Fanny Brice, Imogene Coca, Carol Burnett, but none of them quite had the magic of Lily Tomlin, who in a few minutes can become a stage full of many different, wonderful, and exciting people. All of them are all just a little bit crazy. Well, I first saw Lily in New York on the stage of the old Sullivan Theater, and she was auditioning for a new variety show. She did a barefoot tap dance. That's right, a barefoot tap dance, which was only one of the unique things that I saw her perform that day. I also saw her do some characters, including Lucille, who is addicted to eating rubber. Everything from erasers to galoshes. I love that. Maybe later we could, anyway. But even today, that is still just a little bit crazy. I didn't have a show to put her on then, but we had Laugh-In on the air after that. And so I lost track of Lily until one day I saw her appear on the ABC show Music Scene, right? And she was one. I said, "My God, that's that girl." And so I wanted to meet with her, but Lily was a little reluctant because she thought that Laugh-In was perhaps somewhat below her social and political standards. It's true. In spite of her many doubts, she came to see me. I shut the door and sat there for 3 hours as she introduced me to the most magical characters I had ever seen. I had never seen anybody like this before. Imagine this one walked in and started being different people. I was in awe. And at that point in television, both Laugh-In and I were very hot, so there was no need for her to audition. And I told her I wanted to do the show, and she said, "When?" And I said, "For the rest of your life." Well, I hired her immediately to do all of the shows. We brought her to the next taping. We set up an old-fashioned switchboard, and the wardrobe department, they fooled around for days or whatever to get just the right hair and costume and sling pumps and everything. And I remember in the dressing room, right before she went out, which is true, and I told her, I said, "I'm just so sure of this. When you walk out on that stage, get ready, because your life is going to change. It'll never be the same again. These people are going to just love you." Well, she went on to be a magic star. And as she was getting ready to tape Ernestine the first time, another thing, and I'm not too sure which of us, but I tend to think it was me because of my background. I said, "Lily, wait, when Ernestine dials the phone, dial with this finger." And if you think about it, to this day, when Ernestine dials, she dials with this finger. And the network had no idea that this, right, well, you'll see in the clip, she goes, and they loved her. She was a huge hit, but they had no idea she was giving the finger to the entire world. That night, all of the crew and most of the audience went out of the studio saying, one ringy-dingy, oh, two ringy-dingy. And kids everywhere were going, one ringy-dingy. It became a national phenomenon. And shortly after that show aired, Lily and Ernestine became so famous. But Lily said, I've got an idea. I've got an idea for another character. And I said, oh, here it comes. She said, I want to do a little girl, and it's a 5-year-old girl. So I said, well, that's good. And she said, but I need a chair. I said, great. She said, but a big chair. I said, how big? She said, about 12 feet. So I called the prop department and told them the request, and they said, it's Lily Tomlin, right? All of that happened a long time ago. But Lily continues to be one of my dearest friends, a person, a woman who I'm very, very grateful to and who I adore. And she's been in more comedy, more events, charity events than Chicken, I think. But she's raised more money, more consciousness, more awareness. And I mean, when you set out to feed elephants, you know you're onto anything task at all. So I'm just glad to be here with Lily, who is my friend, my love, and at times my conscience. So anyhow, Lily, congratulations.
Thank you. What a great job. As you probably know, I'm Casey Stengel's partner on Dancing with the Stars next week. And you all have your little goodies here, your coupons for the food. I thought we were saluting Abe Vigoda when I saw fish here. So, Lily, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've known Lily since day one, and she is so great. We had a contest years ago, and basically it was for the best ad agency in Los Angeles to hire Ernestine. So they had to write a contest limerick about Ernestine, her wonderful character, to answer the telephone. So Lily came to the studio of J. Walter Thompson, and for 1 hour, she answered the telephone as Ernestine. And it was so great. Yes. Oh, yeah, everybody was thrilled about that.
It's a contest.
Yeah, well, now you do. Now you do. That's what friends are for, as you know. Anyway, we had one episode, well, all the episodes of Laugh-In. George, thank you. Thank you, cast of Laugh-In. Lily. But Kate Smith was a guest star on this particular episode, and Kate was the superstar of World War II. You know, she would write on a bomb, and a B-52 bomber would drop it on the Nazis, and it would say, like, to Adolf, I hate you, Kate Smith, and the American people on the thing. So anyway, Kate is on the show, and we're doing a thing where she was singing When the Moon Comes Over the Mountain. And so at this point, there are phony rocks that fall from above at the stage at NBC TV. So, wong, wong, wong. So as she's singing this, the rocks are knocking everybody in the cast down. And it was so strange because one of the rocks bounced under Kate Smith. And not only did one of the rocks bounce under Kate, but Alan Suze rolled under Kate Smith. And as soon as the sketch was over, Henry Gibson came over to Alan and he said, "What did you see under her dress?" And Alan says, "Irving Berlin." Thank you. Lily, we love you. Oh,
Thanks for joining us. You know, I can already feel the excitement building for our next Hollywood Media Professional Celebrity Showcase.